and you're seeing all these people living lives that you're inclined to want, but you don't know if it's necessarily for you. Because when those two things come together, you can create some wonderful things and you can build $1 million business. You already have something you can use. There's things around you that can be utilized to grow, but you can't ignore them. What do you do when you're scared to jump from average to extraordinary? Extraordinary. How do you know that success is really meant for you, especially when fear is the loudest voice in the room? You sit up at night thinking maybe that fear is a divine sign that you're just not meant to be wealthy, successful, or chosen. Well, baby, I can tell you right now, you're wrong. Because today we're talking about the 5 signs and skills that prove success is already in you. And if you've got 3 out of these 5 traits, we're not starting from scratch, hun. We are just streamlining your path to the goal. But I know what you're thinking. Where do I even start? And I'm so glad you asked. Mindset, baby. See, I'm a 2-time failed entrepreneur. Not self-proclaimed. This actually happened. And I went bankrupt at 21, trying to run 2 businesses with no resources, 0 guidance, and absolutely no backup plan. So when I tell you that success isn't just about wondering if you were born for it or meant for it, it's about unlocking what's already inside of you. And trust me, I mean it. You do have it inside of you already. And it is possible, boo. I'm your nosy girl, and this is Success for Less, the show where I spill my own business so you don't have to mess up like I did, okay? I overshare the lessons, the wins, the flops, and I put you on game for free because I can. And you ain't even gotta beg me. I'm so nice. You're welcome. Did I really blow your mind though? Nah, you got me confused with your other boo. So let's get into the whole idea of knowing that you're meant for more. Actually, the idea of not knowing whether you're meant for more. So many of us are held back by the things we see on social media. Many of y'all are on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Threads, and you're seeing all these people living lives that you're inclined to want, but you don't know if it's necessarily for you. Now, the great thing is if you're already having those thoughts, babes, you are on the right path. But we have to tweak your mindset a little bit to think differently about how to move forward and how to be certain that that kind of life is meant for you. Waking up every day dreading your job is not laziness. And I want to talk about this because I feel like so many of us, especially those of us with Black and brown parents, have been taught that not wanting to get up and work just means that you're lazy and you don't want to do nothing with your life, which is not true. I'm here to tell y'all that that is not true. Here's the thing. Passion drives us. If you're passionate about something, you're able to move forward in it. And that's a luxury that many of our parents didn't have. So we got to sympathize with them a little bit on that. And I also want to be clear in that point to also say that because our parents didn't have that luxury, we have to be ready and willing to stand on business when they want to come and challenge us about the things that we want to do. So the first lesson that I want to give y'all today is the fact that dread is actually direction. And I say this because if you are dreading where you are, guess what? You got 50% of it figured out. You already know where you don't want to be. The worst place you can be is not knowing where you want to be or how you want to be, what you like and what you don't like. That's the worst place to be because then you still got to figure it out. But when you know where you don't want to be, you know what you don't like already, it's very easy to direct you to what you do like. How do you figure out what you don't like? Well, I would say try things, pivot. If you're at the beginning of a hustle and you're like, I don't really know what I want to invest in. Also, if you don't know what your hustle is, if you don't know what you want to do, head down to my link down below. I have a hustle calculator down there. Y'all can fill out the form. It'll help you kind of sort of frame what your interests are to help better grow. How do we figure out that we don't like something? Well, I would advise you to keep trying different things, especially when you're at the beginning of your hustle. The best time to try new activities, new things, new streams of income is before you've spent any money investing into one solid thing. A lot of times you hear this with social media. People will say in social media, try different formats, try different social media platforms. Why do they tell you that? Because before you go all in on one social media platform, on one format, on one niche. You have to try different things and see what works for you. Look, before I was Be the Nosy Girl doing business education, talking about hustles and helping you build what you got going on to be a millionaire someday, I was Be the EDI specialist. I was Be the Nosy Girl talking about Hollywood drama. I have tried a million things, okay? So this is kind of my last leg, so y'all better watch this show, because if y'all don't watch the show, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. But all that to say, try everything, because the more things you try, the more things you can figure out whether you hate it or not, and the more you can see whether there is a return on certain things or not. So remember, dread is direction. If you hate it, that's good, because it's bringing you one step closer to what you love. Now here's the thing. We're gonna talk about two different things that people mix up all the time that we need to differentiate. Passion and drive. Now, what's the difference between passion and drive? Look, passion is the like of something so much that you do it for free, where drive is the discipline to stick with it even when it gets hard. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Lesson 2 is passion is cute, but drive pays rent. If you're like, I really like this thing, okay? Let's say it's like doing hair. I really like doing hair. I enjoy doing hair. I'm passionate about hair. But then every time somebody tries to book an appointment with you, you cancel them because you read this spend time with your man. You have no drive, bae, and you gotta work on your drive. But if it's like, I wanna do hair just to make money, but I don't really care about doing hair, then you have drive with no passion. The sweet spot is to be able to find a hustle where you have both drive and passion, because when those two things come together, you can create some wonderful things, and you can build $1 million business off of passion and drive. I'm really not a believer in the whole idea that you can build a business without any passion. I think that's a horrible way to start. And also right there, I'm also gonna put a little caveat. So many of y'all are on social media looking into things just to make money. This is how girls end up on OnlyFans. This is how people end up investing in drop shipping. This is how people end up selling toe pics. This is how people end up doing ridiculous stuff, because they just wanna make money. If you are in this video right now, you're watching this video, you clicked on it, you're like, I wanna make $1, I wanna be better, I wanna no longer be mediocre, but you're here only because you wanna make $1, that's it, that's all you care about, this is not the right video for you. Because in order to build something that's sustainable, something that makes you wealth, that builds wealth and creates it, you have to be passionate about it. Drive, passion starts and ignites something, but drive gets you there. And you can be really driven for a long time, but burnout is real, bae. And here's the thing, burnout does not equate to longevity. Drive does not equate to longevity. It's passion plus drive that equates to longevity. Longevity comes from the idea that I love this thing and I would do it whether I'm being paid or not. And the fact that, oh my God, I'm driven, so I'm not gonna stop working at this thing. And that also brings me to the point that you should be consistently working on what you are passionate about. Just because you can do 2 cornrows does not mean you can do hair, okay? Just because you can paint toes does not mean all of a sudden you're an esthetician, okay? You need to be consistently tuning your craft. For me, I read a lot of books. Actually, Ken gave me a really great idea. He told me I need to read the 48 Laws of Power. 48 Laws of Power. You heard the brother right there, okay? I gotta read the 48 Laws of Power because I love to keep tuning my craft. The idea of expanding wealth, business, helping people like y'all. That is what I love. That's what I'm passionate about. Now, do I enjoy editing YouTube videos? Absolutely not. Do I enjoy going through financial statements? Absolutely not. Do I love doing incorporation documents? Absolutely not. But my drive is what gets me through those things so I can do the things I'm passionate about, like talk to y'all on this camera right now. You see how I brought that back full circle? Amen. Let's continue. Drive plus passion is great, but something that's really important is resources. In order for drive plus passion to work, you need resources. Now, when I'm saying resources, many of y'all just clutch your pearls right now. I ain't got no money, I ain't got no money. Baby, I'm not talking about just money, okay? Resources can be more than money. Resources can be time, it could be human capital, it could be things you have right now. Your computer, your laptop is a resource, okay? Your mama who knows how to, I don't know, who has a house that you can work out of, that's a resource. In-kind resources right now, I'm really trying to get y'all to understand that resources don't actually equate to money. In-kind resources, which is things that don't necessarily lead to money directly, but hold a certain value, those are just as important as dollar value. Many people want to start a business, want to get into something, but they're like, I don't have no money, I can't start nothing right now. Your brain is a resource. Right now, I'm making money off of talking to y'all with my gray matter. My gray matter is what's making me money right now. Some of y'all are purchasing my workbook, working through your business, building your hustle through that. That came from my brain. I designed that all by myself. That required no money. I did a free shoot. I'll put Canva on, although Canva sponsor me. Canva for free, CapCut for free. There's different things that you can use that are completely for free, that are resources. But this takes me back to my last lesson. If you are not fine-tuning what you want to be in and you don't research on what you want to work on, then you will not know the different types of resources that are out there. I live in Chicago. The public library, great resource, and it costs you $0, okay? You can also get access to different museums, places that you can go and meet people, network. There are entrepreneurship clubs and spaces that you can be in where you can get resources that are not necessarily money, okay? So the most important thing that you can do is take drive, put it with passion, and then find resources to be able to help you expand your hustle. And if you are able to get those three things together, then of course you're meant for more. Actually, you will no longer guess whether you're meant for more or not. Is this meant for me? Is this for me? You won't even guess it. You wanna know why? Because things will just start happening. You'll be like, how is this happening? I don't know how I did this. Well, it's because you move strategically and you thought strategically. You have to realize that you already have something you can use. There's things around you that can be utilized to grow, but you can't ignore them. And too many times, I'll tell you, when I started my business, the first thing I did when I took out my loan was spend 20 grand on hiring 20 new employees that I had to train all by myself with no experience previously running a team other than myself. Horrible decision, okay? There were so many people around me who would have helped me do video, who would have helped me develop my business, who would have helped me, I don't even know, go out shopping for me. If I would have just asked and if I would have just looked at the people around me, my sisters, my mom, my friends, I didn't have to hire people to do it for me. But because I had a certain idea of what being an entrepreneur was, I thought that being an entrepreneur meant having a million employees and having actual place that I paid rent at, when really all those things were doing was draining my bank account and bringing me closer to bankruptcy. So I would really advise y'all, look at the resources you have around you and make use of those resources. And money is not necessarily the resource that I'm talking about. Additionally, when you know you are meant for more, when you know it's time to level up, you want to protect your peace as much as possible. Protect your peace like you are protecting your life. Now, why I say this is because too many of us, and we talked about this in episode 1, but too many of us go outside and we start telling everybody, oh my God, I have this problem and I want to start this business and I don't know. And then all of a sudden we get all these unsolicited opinions from people who are not doing what we're trying to do. Look, think about it like this. If I wanted to lose 50 pounds, and there's somebody online who is selling a coaching program who has always been skinny, they're very fit, but they've never lost 50 pounds before, or somebody who used to be 200 pounds or 300 pounds overweight and has dropped down to 150, who's probably gonna give me better feedback? The person who's already been there. So many of y'all are going to your mama, going to your sister, going to your brother who are on welfare, asking them how to grow a business and they ain't never done it before. How do you ask somebody who's never made $1 million before how to make $1 million? How do you ask somebody who's never ran a business before how to run a business? Many of y'all sit there and they're like, I would never spend money on coaching for, I don't know, changing my mindset, or on a therapist, or on, I don't even know, on how to build a website. But then you guys are also the same people who would spend $500 on Nike Dunks. Is that making you any money? You also are the same people who will go and spend that money on a gym membership or on somebody to help you get your body right. But then when it comes to making you money, you don't want to spend that. You don't want to spend that coin. Why is that, babe? Why is that? True story. Let's talk about it. So the greatest thing you can do is protect your peace. You need to be able to decipher when you're going to people about opinions about your hustle or wanting to start something. Who are you going to? Who are you talking to? Why are you talking to them? And have they been where you want to go? Because if they haven't, they're going to have nothing valuable to give you. And they're just going to give you opinions that are going to make you doubt. Am I meant for this? Is this for me? And then all of a sudden it's internalized within you. You're like, maybe I'm not meant for this, but really you were meant for it all along and you were on the right path. You just went to the wrong people asking for advice. So all in all, once you got the passion, the drive, the resources, and a steady mind where you've protected your peace, you will truly know that you are meant for more. If you're not able to acquire all four of those things, then, oh well, I guess it wasn't for you. But if you are able to acquire all those things, then you are always meant for it. And it's time for you to put these skills to use. I'm your nosy girl, and this has been Success for Less. Now the rest is on you. Keep it pushing, y'all. See you soon.